enter the gulag.
One's broken.
Earns them
He's lit.
redeployment. Your teammate lost the fight. Now to return to base.
Fuck, holy shit, Mark, you're better.
Oh, you god. You absolute god.
Your teammate is redeploying. Stand by.
Just
I'm coming back on my shit. Yep, I'm coming right back to my stuff.
This guy might be pushing up, but I have no idea.
Okay. Oh, he's getting car.
Enemy UAV overhead.
He's in it out. We still have 90 people left. 90 people left.
Yeah, we got a lot. We still got tons of time.
Gotta go.
I'm jumping down. Yep, I'm coming with you. I'm getting shot at from over here.
Enemy movement.
System deployed.
Oh, you god. You absolute god.
Yep.
We are back on board with OP Marked. One of our qualified teams came through the open qualifiers. We ran back on Monday. Currently sitting in 10th place. Only have logged a 14-point game. But the best games right now, Tfue and Iceman Isaac have logged 41-point games. The TP just now, as I'm speaking, submits a 44-point game to take the lead. So no one really putting up crazy numbers just yet.
Teep should be 82.
Oh wait, it is 82. Sorry, it literally is updating live in front of my eyes. It just went 44, 62, 82.
Yeah, that was gonna be like that was gonna be the first thing I said. I was like 40 something. Wow, that was lower than I thought. But no, that's gonna be interesting because you heard Merc kind of say at the end of that, like, wow, that got really sweaty. And like we've been jumping around a little bit, and we've seen some crazy fights for a lot of these players. So I'm just wondering what the mark's going to be. Like, is that because that 82 yesterday might not have, been enough. That would have been a good third game, but not as high as a lot of the top teams' top twos. But if the lobbies are a bit sweatier today, which is to look like, then that might be a good score. And I think what's great is even if it's not like the best score in the world, it's a first game. Like that is your first game. You set the mark. You do better than basically everybody else, and now you just keep continuing trying to top that. So I think that's just a massive start for them out the gate.
I'm coming.
So OP Mark, sorry, he was one of our open players who make his way through from the community. And so far, he looks great. Like, this team, comms are good. They've got a lot of players in this lobby. This was a decent drop. It seems like they landed, towards Superstore again. So, cleaning house, making things look relatively easy so far.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have any teams making it through like the open unless they're good players. You just have to be to make it through that type of thing. Like you just need to be. And now whether they'll rival the top, we'll see. But I hope some of these guys make a run like we saw yesterday. They were heavily in the competition until the final moments when, unfortunately, most of all the qualified teams fell a little bit short. But one of the teammates going to fall. They're going to be able to clean up the kill. They'll have to work to get him back into the action. He no longer has the gulag. But
they got a decent amount of cash. We're getting reports from the chat that Tommy's team have just dropped a 93. So
they are correct. They just took the lead.
Of those, so that seems pretty clean. There you go, Tommy, Metaphor, TP. Everyone's looking good so far.
Also, you can see it there on the current standings. There, Metaphor's team actually just taking dropping an 85-point game. Metaphor, a player known from League of Legends, but who has really taken over Warzone here. We kind of thought in our first event we saw him play, there's no way that they're going to make a run for it. And then I think they came in second. Do you remember that, Miles?
Yes, I'm trying to remember this now. It doesn't ring any bells, but I think the second place was like a jump. It was a real. They weren't set for second, but it was like a.
We saw them. We saw them in second early on, and we were like, they probably put up a good early game. They're going to drop off as the real games come in, and then they didn't. So. OP Mark losing his gulag here. Getting back out.
And Tommy's team going out in front shouldn't be a surprise. Tommy and Almond have played together a ton. They've found a lot of success. Noobs is a great player as well. I saw Tommy tweet right before this was going live, basically. He tweeted, "We're looking scary." And then the picture was Tommy with 30, Noobs with 14, Almond with 16. So they had a nice 60-kill game there. Last night, he was warming up. He tweeted one out where he had a 34 game and 11,000 damage. So Tommy's a tank, man. And that's why when we look through the teams, they're absolutely one that we think can make a run for sure.
Neslo now, he was at Trinrex, and I can't see the bottom player there, but Neslo's he's a legend, Clint, from the old Call of Duty competitive days. And now he's trying to keep himself alive in this one. 5 kills already, 35 left in the lobby. Wonder how the rest of the team's doing, but this is a sweaty one. I mean, look at the position he has to put himself in right now. There's a player just using the top of that tin roof to keep himself alive, and this is dangerous. Someone's coming for him. He's having to play this real slow. He does have one teammate, so it's going to be Royal Eyes, who's actually still alive as well. So
yeah, Royal Eyes is disgusting, by the way. I mean, when I first really, I guess, learned who Biffle was, it was the team where I think it was MVS, Royal Eyes, and Biffle, and the trio's part of the MFAM. And like Royal Eyes and Biffle were putting up just outrageous numbers, just 20 to 30 every game, just so consistent. Royal Eyes he is sick, man. So this is a team that could be a threat as well.
We'll see how Neslo can stay alive in this situation. That's a cool 2 kills. Beats one more just around the outside. What a snap with the MP5 that was. Oh, and he's still good. There's plenty of players around himself. I missed the audio cue there, but Neslo, we love the work. Keep putting it up. Nice tags to stay alive. Trainwreck's, he's back, actually. They managed to pull him back.
I'm going to need Neslo to move his webcam so I can see the minimap.
Yeah, there you go. That would be great. Nice shots once again, though. No self-revive for you, buddy. This is a great run from Neslo alone, winning these fights. Just screaming, you suck.
Yeah, the only downside is, like, I think with this team, like Train's a good player for sure, but like he's not gonna be putting up 20 to 30 bombs consistently. It's like Royal Eyes and Neslo are really gonna have to go off, and Neslo having 8 with 30 left, I'm assuming it's not that massive of a game, but we go right over to Tommy. Oh, it is so hot at the garage entryway. And yeah, he has got smoked with the melee. Unfortunately, that is how a lot of deaths happen on dropping Superstore. Just fist out. Okay. Because everyone's trying to smoke each other.
Good stuff from Tommy, man. He managed to get a kill off the drop as well. So even though he got melee to death there right off the rip, he still managed to take one with him. So yeah, that Superstore drop is still very, very hot. See the rest of his boys still alive there, with the noobs.
Yeah, it's been interesting because, like, I think where they're dropping is where I would love to drop for forever. I loved it. Like, it says that open door. There's spots to finesse, but then as more and more streamers started to do it, it seemed like that particular spot got hotter and hotter. Even before that, it was like the back window was hot. The same thing happened. Like, that would just get it where like 3 teams were flooding it. Now it's like teams have started to drop like roof a little bit more on the balcony, is like even hitting front door. You don't expect a lot of action at times. There's been almost a meta evolvement, like just to super drops.
Yeah, it's something about like YouTube and Twitch streams. Like, you're watching these pros, these great players do it. You're like, I'm gonna give that a go. I'm gonna give that a go. Think of how many people are like, I'm gonna give that a try. I don't know, man. I mean, there's so much to this game, and we talked about this yesterday with the blueprint, well, not blueprints, but with the gunsmith, excuse me, and just the way that how big this map is and how it's designed. Like, there's so much you can try to make things.
Oh, near, there's 2 of them.
It's on the trendsetters to really make those strategies stick. And Tommy, not as successful now, man. He had a good round in the first one, but
okay. Hi, Mara.
Right. He gets the kill. Yeah, man, it's hard to be consistent, right, Clint? I mean, the first one's a 93. After this, like, how great could it be?
Oh, it looks like it was a sweaty super for sure. You're gonna lose Tommy, but at least you have 5 on Almond. The issue is they don't have a ton of cash. Like, they're gonna have to use basically, I mean, most of their available cash to get Tommy back in. Now can they win the fight with the remaining players and walk away with enough money to get loadout? Because there's still probably some spots that are unlooted, but the problem with, like, when there's a ton of teams there and everyone kind of looting a sector of it and you killing everybody and wiping them, they keep some of the cash. They don't drop it all if they die. Instead of walking out with like 20 grand like you'd plan to, you don't have quite as much. I mean, you already see a big stack right in front of them, so maybe this office side hasn't really been touched. There's a bounty inside to work, but don't walk in the proximity mine. Please don't walk in the proximity mine.
I'm gonna RPG the guy at second.
That RPG would have killed 4 early in the game.
Yeah, thank God for that one. That was a very welcome change to the game. But
dude, it's like there's always something on the floor in Superstore since the game came out that makes you want to put your head through a wall. Like, it was the rockets, then it was the foul, now it's the origin. Like, there's always something. There just seems to be an insta kill that can be so tough to deal with.
I mean, they've just done a good job of staying alive here. You needed the comms from everyone just like having identified that there was 1 player left in that situation. Tommy's back now in the mix. Get yourself a contract. And they actually, this is still great, man. This is a good amount of cash to be walking out of Superstore with, despite the fact that it was such a busy drop. So kudos. Buy Tommy back, keep the fight alive, and hello. What's that?
Dropping cash.
And they have enough for loadout, and the bounty looks to be really close, just at the apartments out back. It looks like they're just, instead of like maybe buying it safe towards gas or out front, they're gonna head to police. Now this is interesting. I mean, I get it because that's the direction your bounty is. The problem is this buy a lot of times can be really hot because like if teams drop warehouse, if they drop hangars, if they drop the apartments and there's not a buy, sometimes you'll have a lot of teams that end up in this general vicinity. So hopefully they can get it out clean, and then get rolling.
Yeah, this is a gamble. You're absolutely right. But they've gone for it, man. That red smoke is popping.
Yeah.
Just flew in.
And we can hear that 2-1 split come through. Alman and Tommy are going to be going hangers, and Noobs is going to get towards the bounty, try and get that one hit.
On the green. Down him. Good jump.
Nice shots.
I'm heart beating.
And that's this sort of exactly what I meant. Like, thankfully they were able to get the loadout clear and then start pushing. But there's almost always somebody here, like whether it's at police, green, or white. Like these three buildings, it's very rare when you rotate out of Superstore that there's not somebody in these buildings. And the tough part is if it's people regaining here or haven't got loadout yet, then it can lead to some easy kills. Like you're just going to cruise through them with loadout. But if it's teams already with loadout that are set up in that spot, it becomes a much different scenario. Thankfully for them, they're running into players with default guns. They've got Brew and MP5. They should be able to roll through them.
Dude, and not just MP5s, but like Tommy's still got stopping power rounds in the MP5 as well. So like that thing is just ridiculous. We've discussed, I mean, quite a lot about when it comes to the loadouts and what players are running on their attachments and whatnot. But like, I mean, this is the tried and true hipfire version of the MP5 that is just disgusting. You don't really have to aim in with this bad boy. It works at most ranges very well, just outside of extreme long ranges, and it's pretty damn nasty. Trainwrecks, though, we talked about him just a moment ago. 11 kills. It looks like, no, 6. Sorry, I just, those pixels all came together in the end. And 6 kills, 17 remaining. This was a sweaty lobby, Clint. You weren't wrong.
He's gonna be your left, Tran.
Yeah, no, it certainly was. You could just tell by how difficult some of the fights were. I mean, you see the difference when it's like team just rolling through.
People are in front of Royalized as well.
You know, not having much difficulty in the team fights, moving one to the next, but just what's tough is like that one sweaty fight or a couple of them can delay you so much in finding more kills on the map. But right now, I think they're just trying to work to get him loadout. But I think he's trying to figure out maybe where shots are coming in from. But it looks like Train is able to get loadout, get back into the picture, finds that Duffy, gets a satchel, gets a lot of, well, what he needed is he was trying to regain. Now, can they actually close out the game for the dub? And then what kind of game are Neslo and Royalized on? Because I think Neslo was around 8 last time we saw him with like 30 left. Royalized might have a bomb going. We haven't seen his POV, but it looked like he was shredding just through the kill feed basically when we were checking out Neslo's clutch.
Yo, we should try to get here and get up top.
Dude, if we die, that's gonna be pissed. Are you sure we shouldn't kill him?
Yo, on the loadout.
Yeah, this is the hardest part of the Warzone game. Decisions on the final circles. Like, where do we put ourselves? Are we going to find the kills here? Are we going to put ourselves in the place for the win? Like, it's just hard to make that decision.
And I think what they were talking about right now was whether or not they kill the king. Like, they were trying to decide if they want to let the king bring the players back and find it maybe 2 extra kills potentially, or if they just want to push it out and get good position. And it's usually, you know, if the average player, it's not really something you consider. You just go and kill the king. But now this gets real tough. Neslo's going to get caught. I'm not sure if the king dropped him or if he got shot from top train as he went to push in. But dude, I had a game. It was JCap and I had a clutch here earlier with like the new train layout and the roof. And this can be one of the crazier, more stressful finishes in the game, especially if you've got a team top. Nice shots there from Train, but unfortunately, I believe he's out of AR ammo.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 left, but he's like, where am I getting ammo from? Thankfully, there's players all around him to get those shots in. So again, now, man, it's tough with the opening of Train, as you called it. There's a lot more space to work with inside here, which is good and bad. But this is tense.
Should I get UAV or yourself, Rose?
Yeah, it's like it's weird too because like you would think for the most part that like you want to have high ground because that's just like a default thing in any FPS, right? Like anything strategically, like you want to have high ground. But sometimes, depending how circle pulls, like you really are favored having the low ground because if that team eventually has to jump, you've got freebies. His precision, I think, actually knocked. I think he knocked 2 of them.
Yep.
With that precision, so that becomes a whole heck of a lot of an easier fight. But Royalized, as he tries to get back in the mix, he's going to drop as well. He's going to get finished. I don't know if one of them worked down the steps or was just lurking low on the opposite side of this.
No.
Right here. At the 10 below him. Go on. One's at the white tent.
Everyone's in the safe zone now. I think it's staircase.
Yeah, I think both players might just be
The game made me
in those
fucking
tents
handle
right
over.
outside of this as they're just trying to hunt down.
Oh, Costa's going to push him off the roof.
Kill him.
Where is he? There's one more onto you. Cluster,
Last
careful.
one.
I gotta pop plates.
The Costa could have been so devastating, but
He's in the staircase.
I mean, surely Neslo and Train right now, they catch this one player, just gun him down. Just gun him.
Actually, no, he couldn't. He would have killed himself.
There are so many corners here to check. He's not on. Oh, he may have been on Heartbeat there, but
On there. Fucking shit on.
Nice job.
When they find the final one, they get the W. It's not a huge game. What is that, 44?
Sweaty lobby, bro. That was a good fucking game.
But yeah, no, you heard him talking about it. It was a sweaty lobby, and that's what we talk about, like in a certain day, like who's gonna get the lobbies, who's not, because yeah, you win the game there, and you've got some really good players, but I just don't think that type of win is gonna be enough to get you into the top 4.
yeah. Still plenty of time though. Just over 2 hours left for these players to get their games in. And now Metaphor's team, and Caleb, you called it, man. It was a good run from Metaphor previously. 10 kills already this game, 46 on the board. Still,
One of my favorite Twitch Rivals stories is we had a League of Legends draft. Oh, Jesus, Metaphor gets melted.
Oh my.
It's kinda
Oh,
nice.
that's the origin. Oh, no.
He goes to the gulag. But he was drafting for a League of Legends. He was a team captain for a League of Legends tournament. Then we had a draft show where we would call in with all the team captains. They would tell us who they were picking. Metaphor was actively playing in a Warzone tournament while drafting. So we would call him in and be like, Metaphor, can you hear us? And be like, hold on a second. I gotta get out. Okay, I'm in a safe spot. What's happened? Who do I need to pick? It was just
That's
not
amazing.
paying attention to the draft. Was totally paying attention to the Warzone competition. He's
That's
taking this game
amazing.
seriously.
I have an idea that might work.
Well, he got 2 great teammates. I mean, Finesse's a beast. Unrational is a monster. I think Unrational won, what was it, the duo part of the MFAM tournament with Doug is Raw. So he's got a win under his belt, which is not easy to do with the level of competition these days. I think they were on like 38, now 39 with 45 left. So this is a game they can absolutely get over the 60 mark, assuming things go smoothly as they get going. But they're on a big one for sure.
They're just chilling in the storm, bro. Like,
There's nobody in the passenger.
It's just where do they have to go now? Because it looks like this is pulling towards like downtown Promenade. Eventually, it might be going out towards Port and Prison. I'll have to wait to see if they check the full map, but not necessarily ideal for, I guess, easy team fights, but it is ideal at times for the lobby to stay alive for a while, at least give you a chance to find more kills.
yeah, it's an ugly finish. It looks that way anyway. I mean, we've still got. It looks like he may have quite a distance to run here as well. So like trying to just clean up these players coming out of block, but oh man, the race is on. The rotatos are now trying to sprout, make way forward. And honestly, like, I'm pushing it, guys. I'm not sure if you can tell. But
No, listen, I'm
I
with
like
it.
the sprout.
I'm trying to make this one stick, but I don't think this is going to be a very fruitful harvest, let's say, because it doesn't look like there's anyone nearby. And you just got to go. You got to cut your losses, just make a run for it. So, thankfully, Circle is close, so it's not like for Metaphor, this is a long distance journey, but see how we go.
No, this worked out. I mean, his only goal here, since he's kind of on an island and players are far from him, was to find a couple plates and some AR ammo, because he came in, he got his loadout, he only had 60 bullets to work with, had no plates. He at least found, I thought he found 2 plates there, but I guess he just ends up grabbing 1, and he found a sizable amount of AR ammo. So at least now, he's not just in a position to rotate, he's in a better position to fight if he needs to.
Oh, he'll need a fight, Clint. He'll need a fight. There's rooftops all around the place. But yeah, this is a slow and steady run across map now. I mean, for Metaphor, it's not the most riveting gameplay, but there's plenty for us to talk about nonetheless. And here we go. Up the zipline we go.
Yeah, and here's one of those zip lines we've been talking about. Just another entry point to try and get top as he heads well towards Train and then ultimately probably towards Promenade. His teammates, I can't tell if they're like Hospital maybe from the minimap. It looks like they're in that general direction. But more plates, more cash, exactly what he needs as he's still attempting to regain. His teammates pop a UAV for him, and I didn't see like any red dots pop up near him at all, which means everything's got to be like, I guess maybe downtown and towards Port and the far side of Promenade. Now there could be a ghost team right around him for sure.
It's sadly true, but I was going to say Unrushable seems to be in fights right now, and we saw the kill feed getting tagged up a little bit. Good down, man. That's a nice bit of shots. Kilo, cross map, still good. It's not quite the Bruin, but still works out just fine. And yeah, man, it's good to see these guys still being involved, even with Metaphor not necessarily get involved in the kill feed. But that's why you play that island. That's why you have that one guy run across, because the offset chance he does catch those players. I mean, that's potentially 2-3 more kills. But Unrushable and Finesse now trying to find something good, trying to find these kills.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's definitely playing by himself. He could not be more on the opposite side of this current circle. So as they try to work downtown and like the port rotation over to those, I don't even know what I call that part of the map, like the hills over there by that halo-looking structure.
Yeah.
They'll continue to try to fight this. He's going to have to kind of solo dolo it in through Promenade. And I actually it's weird because I hate a lot of rooftops. I do, but for some reason,
I mean, it's up to you.
I don't mind the Promenade fights as much. I don't know what it is exactly about it.
Yeah,
but
I know exactly what you mean.
I like fighting in Promenade.
I think because there are so many rooftops in Promenade and they're all the same height. Like in downtown, because there are different levels to downtown's height. So you don't want to be on the low. You don't want to be on a low roof. You want to be on the highest one, so you have best visibility. But because so many of those rooftops are the same level on Promenade, it's like, well, if I'm up here, I can be seen by what 3-4 other rooftops in the same position. So it's a lot more of a risk, I feel like. So you don't get as many rooftop players here generally, but
yeah, maybe that's what it is. Just easier to get to an angle where you can actually fight them. Versus where you're downtown, they have the highest rooftop. You're like, oh well, I'm screwed unless I want to run up 70 levels. Yeah.
Like I'm top of the biggest one. I'm going to be fine. But yeah, it's a tricky one to do to survive. But here down by Promenade, you can see on the radar already a couple of red dots. Bounty's so close as well.
Give me a second, I can go up top on this roof and like fly down.
I'm not maybe there for a bit. I'm walking upstairs.
Okay.
I'm thought walking.
It's just so great hearing these player comms. They're going to hatch a plan right now as they're going to try to find a few more kills. And once again, like Finesse now, he's a little bit more towards like port side now, like playing a lone Clint. But Metaphor finally gets back in the fight, and here we go. What do you got, Rational?
They're both there.
Yeah, I downed one.
Hello.
There's three there. He's got
hello.
Down two. Last kid's right.
Oh, dude, he didn't save his point.
He
didn't. Oh, wait.
The guy with the shield just like rolled straight on past.
I killed two.
I downed two.
And then I guess he got sniped by like that other, like the higher rooftop on the other side. At least I believe he did. Thankfully he had self though, so not going to be the end of the world. But
he's right here.
you'll see Finesson's on 23. I mean, he is a beast, and he's having a monster game. This could absolutely be a huge one for them. Because I think when we first hopped in, they were around they're around 40 kills with 40 left. They found a lot of kills since then. This should be one of those 60+ victories that you need. There's still people deep out in Park that have to wrap across.
There's a whole team right here. I don't know if you guys see
Was that? I thought it was hospital. It's like edge of circle on the hospital rotation near the buy.
Oh, they're shopping? Okay, let's go.
Just how do they split and dice apart this lobby?
Oh, these people up here are gonna storm.
What?
The team I'm trying to storm hold.
Finesse has got his scalpel out. He's hoping
The
to
UAV's gone.
open up something here. And yeah, there's a couple of questions in the chat like, what's the deal with the Origin? Well, it's amazing. it's amazing. It turns people into soup. It's pretty effective. The rate of fire is absurd, and yeah, it gets the job done. Give it a go. Give it a whirl.
Yeah, and I would see it at times on like I think before it was like floor loot right now, and maybe we're seeing a little bit more of it because people are starting to realize how good it was. I think Aiden did it before that, and there was like one other player that I'd see run this as his secondary, but I'm wondering if we're gonna see it more and more because it's another one of those things where like nothing can beat it at close range. If you hit your shots with it, you're up close and personal, trying to breach a stairwell like he's doing. Nothing can touch you with this in your hands. Now, if you're at medium range, it's a little bit scary, but that might also be why he has the hollow on the Bruin. A little bit, I don't know, a little bit more manageable maybe at medium versus the VOK. Like you can fry with the VOK, but I think it's just a little bit quicker to ADS for sure.
Yeah, you're losing out a tiny bit of zoom with the hollow sight, but yeah, you're definitely right. It's a lot easier to acquire those targets up close, and that's unfortunate, man. We get those shots in those players. They did spend the airstrike just to push him back, but Finesse, like, he's got eyes on those two players. He didn't manage to get those kills, and now he's got to dip from the circle. It's going to push him on out.
Down two.
And yeah, it's Aiden's fault. It's all Aiden's fault. Like he made the Origin cool.
Yeah, I think he was the first, at least that I can think of, and I could be wrong, but he was the first one that I really noticed casting a tournament that like had it as a secondary. I was like, oh, so you're that guy.
And now still finessing. I mean, 23 kills. It's a big one. Trying to add a few more to the
They're
pile.
up there already. They're up.
And any big updates on other huge games that have come through, but here we go. Trying to cut these players off before they can get towards that circle, but... Ooh, and Rational just takes a sniper round to the head just from behind. That player's going to pop up on radar, though, so now maybe... But it's a little pensive, though. This is a tough situation for Finesse, and like, they've slowed down quite a lot just to try to catch these kills, and not being able to finish them up is so difficult. Like, you have to like get the kills decisively before you can just keep moving on. Otherwise, now you find yourself in a position where you're being shot from behind as well.
And poor Unrational, man. I mean, he had to waste his self-res because he got knocked by a sniper as well. That's like the one thing you like can't counter. Like, you can't necessarily finesse it. You can't try to take a straight-up gunfight or use any utility. Like, if you're moving and if you get headshot, well, you're out. Like, you're just down for the count. And definitely one of the more frustrating deaths for a top player for sure.
There's people in that mansion, like that fucking cringe-ass orange mansion.
Oh, this is probably the kid's team.
That's one way to describe it, I guess. Okay.
I'm going to call that from now on. The effing cringe house mansion.
Yeah. Are his parents like architects or like interior and external decorators? Like, or does he watch a lot of like HGTV where he just knows that's like an ugly house? Like, he said that with such passion, like he was offended due to his line of work.
Nice. Yo, in that orange mansion.
There it is again.
There's a
Go on back.
Okay? On my ping.
Metaphors all over this one. Rolling forward. But his boys are in the gas. Like, are they actively in the gas? They're just on the line there. I can't quite tell. They've both got gas masks. They're not losing HP, but they should be clear now.
Stay away from the window. Stay low.
Good call, man. Metaphor's got to get forward. He's got to try to apply pressure to this ugly-ass mansion. Let his boys get through safely.
Down. They're
Oh,
confused.
Nice shots.
Oh, that was crazy.
I'm gonna try to get over this wall.
Still playing the gas, though. This is dangerous.
I can throw
Now you got that Origin as your secondary. Let it rip.
Kill them.
I think I stunned a different kid.
Yeah, exactly. This is where the Origin is just beast mode.
Whoa. Just
I got it.
shreds them, and it's going to be a cul-de-sac finish. So this is always fun. I mean, every single one of those houses could have a player inside it. Like and there's a buy right in the middle. So if you're feeling very, very ballsy and willing to spend some of that cash, they don't have a whole lot, but everyone seems to have plates. So
Well, it's a 3v3v3, and yeah, I would almost guarantee the other two both are three stacking a house is more than likely the case, unless there's a team that's like up further in the hill, which could because there's still there's a good bit behind the cul-de-sac. So there's probably a squad playing towards, I can't tell if it's like the gas station side. Okay, so they do get a spot. So there's one team on the hill, then maybe they've got a team remaining in one of those houses.
There's probably the team on the right.
Unless they already had one. Nah, they didn't buy it. They didn't buy it there. They already had it.
I was trying to listen to like their comms, just say if they kind of knew where both teams were, but they said a team on the right and they had an active out here, so maybe they do know where both are. Oh,
there it is, Caleb. There it is.
It's the train, baby. They're actually on it. You want it so bad. He's on it, going right into the storm.
Oh, poor guy.
I mean,
he's gonna die.
My stop was a while ago, but I fell asleep. No one woke me up. Oh, nice down.
I'm gonna push up on this.
Over the cleanup.
And that's maybe why you don't get on the train.
Oh, dude, it would have been a great way to just like silently ride your way into this circle, but now it's a dangerous place. There's the limb, just in the outskirts of the gas here, and again, it's going to slowly move these players in. Good crossfire. That's going to be another kill if they can get the finish here. But here comes the third party. Maybe that team on the right, Clint, getting involved a little later. There's the quick revive. And now we go.
Yeah, so
3v3.
What? 2 teams left. Yeah, 3v3. So where were they lurking the whole time? Well, when Rational's down, Rational might be out of it. Finesse was able to clutch up. I think he took out 2. Now they're both going to get knocked. It might be one down player and one player up that he's got to deal with. But this is huge. But this is a difference of like 6 points. Well, 7 points if he can get both the kills and close it out.
Nice throw with a C4. Let's go. Big finish. Ooh, 29, 20, and 18 with the dub.
That's
67.
Right?
So then 87,
92. That's a big one. That's a big one. Yeah, that's what we were thinking. I mean, it was what